Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome along to SimRacingOnline, the home of online sim racing. My name is Like Sky, and tonight I will be calling you through one of my most anticipated events that I have been privileged to witness in recent times. This is the One Make Porsche Cup Car series, conceived of by our very own Rob Milliken, and honestly one of the most exciting prospects that I've seen in a while, especially in this Assetto Corsa Competizione game simulator. Good evening, John. How are you doing, my dude? Looking forward to being in your presence as well on Saturday evening. Very much so. But back to tonight. So, the format of this championship is going to be quite interesting. You can see that at the moment they are in their qualifying session. Very much as per usual, our eyes currently on Mark Johnson. However, this is going to be the only qualifying session that we're going to see throughout this series. Through the rest of the races, the rest of the positions in the first 12 grids, as they're all getting nice and close, this is the only competition where they have a direct say in how the starting grid goes. But through the rest of the season, the starting grid will be the reverse order of the top 12 in the previous race. Now if that's even remotely confusing, don't worry at all. It will become very, very obvious next time out, and I'll take some time, if I possibly can, to run through that at the end of this session, at the end of this race tonight. Hildebrand looking like he's running out on his own at the moment. However, further down the field, who is that running behind in the Porsche? I wonder if Andy Williams in the 22 car. Brilliant. Good to see Andy returning to ACC with SRO. And let's see what he has on his cards when all of the other automobile cards are equalized. Second, third position so far. This track is going to get quicker as the qualifying session goes on. But again, this is the only qualifying session of the season, the rest of the races. So, if you win a race, absolutely excellent, superb, fantastic, good for you. Now you start in 12th at the next race. I can imagine there is going to be some very tactical finishes through this season as Andy locks up that front near side wheel on the Porsche, implying that maybe he's got that suspension set up a little bit softer than maybe he would like. We'll just appreciate these times coming through for the moment, as I need to find the right button. There we go. First time's a charm. To give us the split times down the field. Total of 22 cars joining us tonight, which is a fantastic field to have. And at the top, you can already see the gaps are going to be minuscule between Ruskus and Williams, who we have our eyes on at the moment, much to some people's chagrin, I'm sure, as he dives into the pits. Of course he does. There is, at this point in time, a hundredth of a second, roughly, just over 0.015 seconds, roughly. So, with the cars equalised with these beautiful Porsche Cup cars, I'm sure we're going to see some very close racing, and with the reverse grid, well, that just throws the cat amongst the pigeons before we've even started the season, doesn't it? Brilliant to see all drivers getting out. Bruce hasn't set a time yet. Norman Bruce down. He's the first of our cars not to set a time. But a wonderful livery there. And Brands Hatch is, in my opinion, not a biased in the slightest, a wonderful place to start a series like this, as Bruce gets it sideways through Paddock Hill Bend and up towards Druids. A time set 2 seconds off for the time being, but that means nothing at the moment. Bosger looking to be in the golden seat if he stays in. Now Bruce is in the golden seat for that 12th position should they stay as they are until the end of the race, which they won't. Let's just make that very clear. This is going to be chaos from the very first turn of the wheel, and Grukok, you've got some taste. Really do. Golf colours. Running around the GP circuit of Brands Hatch. Very fast, very flowing is Brands Hatch, and very, very bumpy. You can see the undulation through in these Porsche Cup cars. Not quite as much downforce as their GT3 counterparts. Let's see if Grukok's actually on a fast one. He is going a second faster at the moment, but we'll come on board with him as he comes round Clearways. Oh, is that called Clark Curve now? It's apparently called Clark Curve now, unfortunately. But down towards Paddock Hill Bend, run across the pit entrance is the quickest way through, and a beautiful accident up ahead of us as the... Oh, and that'll be an abandoned lap. Thank you very much. There we go. We'll jump on with Vartanian into Druids. Second gear corner. Get on the power as early as you possibly can to pelt yourself back down the hill to Graham Hill. Hold it on the power along this short straight called Cooper Straight, which isn't straight in the slightest, and then one of the hardest braking zones you'll come across. Decreasing radius left-hander at Surtees, and then uphill. The car does not want to move until you get over the crest of the hill. Now down Pilgrim's Drop, under the bridge, towards Hawthorne Bend. Maybe down a gear? We'll call that down one gear. Whoa. And that bump on the inside really accentuated a bit here in Competizione, as Vartanen, they will go with Vartanen, I like that name, just gets it a little bit wide through Westfield. Dingledale shapes it all up. Sheen Curve just recovering slightly, but there seems to be quite a bit of understeer in that number 14 car. Back down Clearways and back to Clark Curve again. Maybe into the pits. No, just not comfortable in that car. A bit slower than what we have seen. Not many times improving at the moment. I think that altercation on the exit of Paddock Hill Bend is probably what caused that. Let's see what we can glean now that that is cleared. A very wide line from Jan there. Jan? We'll go for Jan. And, whoa, very... And into the wall. Just the slightest cut. Just a little bit of a bump for the 14 car there. Let's go back to our external cameras. There we go, as behind him Miertenen in a very, very nice 911 car. I wonder how he's got that number. That seems a bit rude. Coming up through Sterling's now, coming towards the completion of the lap. He's currently a second up on his previous time. That would put him all the way up to on par with Williams, who is out on the track again. Just trying to keep track of all these cars is a mission in and of itself. Thankfully, Assetto Corsa Competizione has improved their broadcasting tool massively, and fourth goes the metallic green 911 car of Miertenen. 3/10 off the top spot, but all of that is for nothing when they come to the start line. Meanwhile, Barley down in 18th is running almost a second faster. Again, a second faster would put him all the way up towards 10th, 11th, 12th. As he comes through Clark Curve and across the line, just losing ever so slightly. Yep, and just that 1/10 that he lost in the final straight. Really quite a shame for him. As Selby, nope, Selby is in the pits. It didn't quite update for me. Williams is out. Running on par with his previous time at the moment. I don't think he's on an outlap. But we need to wait. Yeah, no, he may be... This may be a fast lap, but he's not going too much faster. That seems to be all the pace that 22 car has. But key here, and this may be a change for the lead. I'm going to curse him already. The poor 12 car running ever so slightly wide, almost following the car off in front, and that's very unfortunate. He's currently 4/10 up on his previous time. Is Pintus here, and a 4,000th of a second would be enough to push him to the top of the time sheets. But this is looking quite good for him now. Comes across the start line, 4/10, a very healthy lap, and that will put him on provisional pole. Nobody is anywhere close to beating that at the moment. That really was a demon lap from Gavino there. Gavino? You'll have to put your names in the comments and how to pronounce them, because I am a Brit and I cannot do these things. Muttram, oh, running off the road in avoidance of what looked to be, yeah, that's the 11 car of Barley, who is having an accident on the exit of Stirling's. A really simple place to get it wrong. Just run out to a car that's running around the track. 2 minutes left, and the track should be about where it wants to be at this point. Johnson's running 3/10 faster at the moment. Has had the draft of a car in front. That's the 14 car of Vartinen. And oh, that was very sideways for Vartinen there. So maybe this is the opportunity that Johnson needs to get a few places up. He's got probably the largest gap that I can see right now. But it's been cleared out of the way by Vartinen there. Very good sportsmanship. Allowed the 13 car to go on his way. Meanwhile, Jones in the 88. As we come towards the closing stage. The 13 spins! Just to show just how on the ragged edge these drivers are. Jones running 4/10 up on his previous times at the moment, which would at least get him in front of the number 11 Barley car. If not quite to the level of Vartinen, but half a second. This is how close all of the times are here. It only needs a 1/10 of a second and you're gaining and losing a few feet and a car that you don't have to overtake come the race start. Across the line it's 6/10 according to my timesheets, and that's put him all the way up to 11. A beautiful showing there from Mark Jones, giving him a much better position and a much better shout at getting into the reverse grid races come later on in the season. There's no one else really doing too much at the moment as we come down to 16 seconds left to run. Santini is currently a couple of tenths up on his previous time. His target is 4/10, as you can see on your ticker on the left hand side of the screen, and the timing sheets that I have show that he may actually get that. It's all happened in through Paddock Hill Bend. Mark Jones is going faster yet again as well in that 88 car. If he goes too much faster, he's going to nab himself a top 10 start. But up now through Hawthorne. You've got to be so brave through there. Now this is pressure time. The clock has run out. This is Santini's last shot getting that pole position. And Pintus as well is in the pits. He can do nothing here. Split is equal on his previous lap, so a fantastic first sector, but let down perhaps slightly by the rest of the lap. Good evening, Brett Menkoff. And I totally agree with you, John. I really wish that I could grab a beer, but that'll have to wait till after the race. But across the line he goes. Was close, but no cigar for Santini. It will be the front row of the grid, but the wrong side, I'm sure, for that 83 car. What else is going on? Muttram is coming down the final straight. He's 2 seconds off his previous time. Williams, meanwhile, will resign to the pits. Oh, Williams and Muttram setting identical times in the end. Absolutely awesome showing from these drivers. So, I can only give you the starting order. So leading the cars away will be Gavino Pintus in the number 12. Santini will be alongside him, looking to get a dive into turn 1, or maybe not. They do look like teammates, judging by the livery alone, but I would have to confirm that later. Ruskus will be the first of the drivers on the second row of the grid. Alongside him will be Miettinen. Behind them in 5th, Andy Williams, who has had a lot of fortune and a lot of success in races, not necessarily so much in the qualifying sessions, but we'll see what he can do now that the engine's on the wrong end for him. Muttram will start in 6th. 7th will be Gutierrez. Aslan will be starting in 8th in the number 1 car. 9th will be Grucock. 10th will be Geimer. 11th will be Mark Jones. Mark Johnson will be starting 12th. 13th will be Mietza. Varsinen in 14th. 15th will be Barley. Bosga in 16th. 17th will be Bruce. Selvey in 18th. 19th will be Milliken. Hildebrandt in 20th. 21st will be Ollie Bateson, and Steve Wenham implies that he's out. I'm just going to have a look. He seems to be on the grid. Yep, that's definitely a car on the grid there. So we'll keep an eye on that. We've got 20 seconds left before the session officially starts. But, well, Brands Hatch is a challenging circuit at the best of times. Trust me, I've done it in a Seat Ibiza, and it was good enough. With that, I can't imagine what these drivers are looking forward to in the Porsche GT3 Cup cars that they've been gifted in this series. Away Pintus goes for the start of the grid. A very short formation lap. Hopefully the drivers have the heat in the tyres, but they will come through. I think that's Clark Curve. Yeah, it's definitely Clark Curve. And side by side, what a beautiful shot. We're going to go as high as we possibly can to a helicopter shot, in fact, because we can. And maybe look slightly further. Oh no, we're waiting for the segment at the top of your screen to go green. It does now, and they are away. A fantastic launch from Mittinen in 4th. Looking up the inside, there's no place to go, though, as the two teammates block the entrance to Paddock Hill Bend. Further down the field, it's all clean so far. This is going to be the first time of asking where they're going to have to really look at their lines. Everything through Druids is all clean as well. These SRO drivers really are absolutely class. Santini has given best to Pintus for the time being, but Miettinen has dropped, but will take the place back from Ruskus there. Ruskus into the wall. Oh no, it's not Ruskus either. Is that Miettinen? Nope. Come on. That is Miettinen into the wall, followed by the number 11 car of... Nope. So, we've got more than one person using the same skin. I think we do. Oh boy, this is going to get confusing now. So was that Milliken that got involved in that? Very, very quickly. formation lap, up through Druids. And the action has already gone when Steve Wenham comes up here. No. I can show replays. I can do replays for you, funnily enough. But it looks like now that it's all worked out, it was Gutierrez that was the man struggling. Give me a second and I will have a very quick look. I'm sorry to have to... Where's Gutierrez gone? So this is now down the hill, and then what we'll see here is the 11 getting pushed out wide, getting not even that too far wide, and just collected. It was the 71 car, yeah, of Gutierrez. Absolutely nothing he could have done there. Thankfully only those two cars involved. That could have been a lot worse for where they were on track, but Gutierrez has a lot of pace. If he can live with the damage on that car, there is a lot of ground he can make up. And again, we're looking for that whoever is finishing in 12th position. It may sound really backwards, but at the moment, Roberto Barley, again, we are 3 minutes into this session, and he's about to be displaced in the golden seat by whoever on earth that is. That is Vartanen, who's had a messy middle sector, but now Vartanen is being put into that pound seat by the looks of it. We've got to wait for the sectors to pan out. But yes, it will be Vartanen looking in the pound seat for pole position in the second round of this championship, and this is where you have to start thinking tactically. Yes, you may have a bad race, and this is again where Gutierrez can really start to put some ground in. That 71 car, currently sitting in 19th, has got 7 cars between himself and a potential pole position. Now that is a very tempting proposition for a driver who's had such an unlucky start to this race. It's not over yet, and it's not over for the rest of the season either. We'll look towards the head of the field where Pintus and Santini have stumbled on something with these Porsches. We've not even got off of the helicopter shots yet because there's been so much action. But there it is, the 12 and the 83 coming down in a world of their own, but behind them it is a train. Jeffrey Ruskus seems to have rather outperformed himself by the looks of things in qualifying, and is holding up by the looks of things the rest of the pack. Now how long can it take before Muttram, Williams and Geimer behind? Let's just jump back to the high camera again just to show you what we're looking at here. So there is a 3-second gap between Ruskus and the car in front. But behind Ruskus, there is a train. 3 cars if we count that specifically, but that is about to go... That is about to become a lot longer. And Muttram must be sat there following that very nicely liveried Porsche, thinking, when can I get past him? How can I make this happen? There's not very many places that you can pass at Brands Hatch. Down into Clark Curve here, or I'm just going to call it Clearways. Down through Clearways is an option, but you have to be very, very clever, and it takes a lot of setup to get it done there. Down through Paddock Hill Bend, again, is worth doing, but you have to be in your opponent's mirrors, and up there Druids is probably the best bet you're going to get, and the 122 already knows that. Looks to the inside, the headlights ablaze, getting in the mirrors of the 35. But Ruskus so far will stand firm. Look very quickly at down the rest of the field. There is battles going on again through Druids, exemplifying exactly what I said just now, with Bosca losing a position to Selvian. There's a car up on the inside there as well. Who have we just lost? The 42 car. Oh no! Grukok, what happened there? What is that? Is that purely... Where's Grukok gone? Come on. Give me a... I can't find his name. I can't find his name. His name has actually disappeared from the screen. Awesome. Let me just... Grukok, there we go. So... Oh, was that contact or was that just greed? It was greed! Oh, it was just greed. And did he touch the wall? No. Key information there for the 42 car of Grukok. And Gutierrez has he decided to take a pit stop? That car looks very straight. So I'm thinking, yep, that's going to be a Gutierrez with a pit stop. Excellent. Good choice. Not what I would have done, I don't think, but I'm not in the car, so I absolutely concede all wisdom to that man. Meanwhile, Ruskus, as we've lost someone from this battle as well. Who have we lost? Because Williams was not in 4th position just now. Was it Miazza? No, I don't think it was Miazza. So Geimer and Jones having some fun there. Jones and Johnson, the name cousins, if you can humour me enough for that one. At it, hammer and tong out the back of the circuit. And again, I can't put into words. If you ever find yourself in the south of England. Yes, Lauren, that is me that is doing the commentary. How are you doing? Yeah, I'm a man of a few talents. I wouldn't say commentating is one of them. But the 88 and the 13 at the moment, coming now down through Clearways, and I will insist on calling it Clearways because it's a much better name than Clark Curve. Even though it's Clark Building on the outside of Clark Curve. Yeah. Clearways sounds much better. This is going to be a fight that is going to rage on through the rest of the race, I can well imagine. This is irking me now. I need to have a very quick look at the replay here of no, the change has already taken place there as well. So Ruskus, what's going on here? There we go. So it was Mutram who was up behind. Now let's see what happens to the 122. Thanks, camera. There we go. They're still in proximity. Oh no! So up through Sheen Curve. No. They're still going through Dingledale. Yeah, it's going to be through Sheens. It's going to be through Sheens. And he was all out. Oh, man. Oh, Andrew was so lucky there. So lucky not to get collected by the 122. Well, that explains where Mutram has gone in the standings, but he's still only 9th. So, again, that's just going to play into... Thanks, John. That is going to play very well into Muttram's hands come the next race. And I'm going to keep driving home this point because it's a crazy, crazy thing. Wherever you are in the race, whatever position you're in, you have to remember that... Oh, as Andy runs wide, not happy with the setup of that Porsche. Either that or the tyres are just starting to go off, which would suck as well. Yeah, you've got to have this strategy just on the ticker in the back. Currently, Selvi is in that pole position, provisional pole for round 2 of this championship. And Aslan, whose first name is Hakan Aslan, will be looking in the pound seat for the second position and just run that all the way up that 12th position, those 12 places. So we're going to see a very, very different cosmetic of the race, or the next time out, with this reverse grid arrangement. No qualifying to be done, simply the reverse grid, as the drivers here seem to be spreading out slightly, which is quite disappointing actually. These cars all exactly the same. As there we go, there's a split as Jones comes across the line. The difference between the two is a tenth of a second. It looks like the 13 car might just about get through on the inside to Paddock Hill Bend, and that is what we're talking about. Up through Druids, can the 88 get to the inside? Yes, he can. And this is what you have to be so wary of. And so they come out of the first sector, which should be along this straight if I remember correctly. There we go. As they entered it, see, absolutely nothing happened. There was nothing went on in those splits, as Jones runs wide and just gifts the place to Johnson, and now he's going to be at a speed deficit for Miazza behind in the 72 car as well. So he's going to need to be very careful coming down into Hawthorne's now. That there isn't a dive up the inside. There is a dive up the inside, but Miazza's nowhere near close enough for that move. But now Johnson has a reprieve just for a moment before Jones gets back up to speed, gets the marbles off his tyres, and clears Simone Miazza. That's a tongue twister for some reason. And gets a bit confident that he can break, especially into Druids. That's, again, is the key place. So, I want to look at the replay. I want to look at the replay. Give me a second. I'm just going to make sure. Hang on a second. No, they're just lapping cars. That's absolutely fine. That's not a problem. I thought I was going crazy. We're going to have a look at that fight again in a moment. Just got to check down the rest of the field to make sure we aren't missing any battles. But this is an absolutely beautiful example of why this track is so good. So again, this overtake began all the way back in Stirling's corner, and now through Clearways, Clark Curve, onto the start-finish straight. The gap is next to nothing, and it's only by being there that the 13 car could get up the inside. But because the 13 car didn't defend up the inside, the 88 had the racing line, had a higher exit speed, and was able to just get his nose up the inside back into Druids. That's why this track is so good. Absolutely ridiculous. And fantastic to see the racing still very much alive here. Michigan, I'm not seeing on my timesheets at the moment. Yeah, but Michigan may be a DNF, unfortunately. That is very unfortunate as well. I'm hoping that is just a simple disconnect, not anything more sinister. For the drivers taking part in this championship, as well as any other SRO drivers, of course, if you find yourself in a championship which is being streamed by yours truly, you will always find me in the SimRacingOnline Discord, which you can find linked below, in the comms and interviews room. If you are taking part, feel free to jump into the corresponding waiting room, and if there is a slight lull in the action, not that there ever is, then I will absolutely drag you in to the room to get your perspective of the race. For better or for worse, it's always great to hear from the drivers throughout the field. And we have another retirement. It looks like something's gone screwy here. Is that when 49 car was Norman Bruce, gets very sideways going up onto Pilgrim Straight, and What's going on there? Come on, Bruce, get it started. Just waiting for a gap in the traffic. Bounces it off the other side of the road as well. Oh, that's going to be a very, very damaged 49 car. And let's not watch that. As is this? Nope, that is the 77 getting lapped by Williams in 3rd position now. Nope, 4th position. I can't count, honest. I can only count to 4 as the song goes. As Geimer now looking to be under pressure from Johnson. So the 13 car, having cleared the 88, is looking to get even higher on the field. In the field. There we go. Yeah, we've got 20 cars remaining now, and I can't for the life of me. It's Meerton. Yeah. And so Gutierrez is still circulating, but Meerton apparently is still in front of him. So they haven't sorted out all the kinks with this software yet. A bit of a shame. Yeah, and they get removed from the leaderboards as well, which again, really, really upsetting. It would be really nice to have the drivers who have DNF'd or had to leave through force majeure in one way or the other. Battle that's going to be slowly unwinding, it looks like, between 6th, 7th and 8th, but they are very close as they come across the line. We're over halfway through now. Oh, it doesn't feel like it. It feels like it's been about 5 laps. But the action has been fraught. It's about time they calmed down and allowed me to take a breath. What's going on? 73 of Wenham having another nightmare trying to get going. Where on earth is he on the track? That looks like it's the closing sector of the track. Perhaps Sterling's. Yep, coming down in towards Clark Curve. We seem to have lost Aslan as well. Yep, we've lost Aslan as well, according to my timing screens. Vartanen is still out there. As the 69 car, everyone's running out of tyres. So the 49 of Bruce is in the pits. That's going to be for damage. I hope he doesn't retire. But Gutierrez now takes 19th position. And Pintus will go... Pintus will go past Bruce to put him 3 laps down. Let me just... So Milliken's still running around nicely in 17th. Wenham with what looks to be a very clean car there. And then Selvey in the 6.9. That's a really, really good view. Thanks, game. Running line astern with his teammate, 14th and 15th, 74 and 70. Yes, very good. Well played. And now it is Vartanen in the 14 with a very bright livery there. Beautiful, beautiful colours. Who is in the pound seat for next time out. And that's how quickly this can all change. Now Vartanen will be sat there going, do I even want to go any higher up in the grid right now? Oh, he might not have a choice if the... It's Roger Hines. Hey there, Roger Hines. How are you doing? I remember commentating you. Commentating over you. Casting. Yep, one of the words. As Muttram 6, 7, 8 still close in proximity, but Johnson's definitely got a bit of pace on the other two. Geimer, meanwhile, is that a car that he's lapping? Let's hang on. Let's very quickly. Yeah, 13th. We've not had anything go awry there by the looks of things. Unfortunately, just having to go off split times for the time being. It looks like this is probably the closest battle at the moment between Hildebrand and Gutierrez. Gutierrez not able to make any more progress up the field, and I'm a bit surprised by that, actually. Oh, because he made a pit stop. He made a really long pit stop because he got his damage fixed, which makes sense. There's no point in trying to endure a half-hour race as the 77 gets a massive tank slapper. Very well held there by Hildebrandt. You have to wonder sometimes what these guys have as rigs, because there are some saves that they pull off that I could not do. And I'm blaming my rig for that. Absolutely. So Muttram, Miazza and Jones are together now. Jones not able to clear... Oh no, here we go. So Muttram, having spun whilst in the hunt for third position, has got himself past Miazza, which will be good points for 8th position. But he's not done yet. That 88 car is looking mighty attractive for him to get in the rearview mirror. Meanwhile, Miazza is keeping very good pace with these two. And if there was ever any kind of altercation between the two, which we've seen at least once tonight, even in qualifying, out of Paddock Hill, Benders the 122 gets a massive slide on. The tyres really are starting to go off now, but it's fantastic to see. Is that flashing lights from the 122? Wouldn't don't know. It's either the glare from Assetto Corsa or it's high beam. One of the two. You'll unfortunately notice that we haven't been paying too much attention at the head of the field. That's because there are two teammates at the head of the field. Muttram won here. Also, he's a man of pace. No wonder he's putting pressure on Jones here. He really is putting pressure on Jones. I tell you what, let's just jump on board with Mark Jones here and look back. It's not really much to look at there, is it? Let me see if I can get a little bit of height there. So this is his view back at the moment. Has the 122, which is a much faster car, and Miazza, who is more than happy to capitalize on any hole that the 122 forces or doesn't force. There is a mile per hour or two in Muttram's favour. And here it goes again. The 122 up the inside. Exactly the same thing that happened to Jones a few laps ago. And up the inside, the 88 knows that he can get that position back if he needs to, but will the 122 be wise to it? Up the inside to block. That is exactly what Johnson should have done, and then parks it at the apex. Fantastic and fair driving from all concerned there. Brilliant opportunism from Muttram, making the most of the poor exit that Jones got from Clark Curve. I keep on going to call it Clearways. Clearways is the other part of the right-hander. And now already just the gap that he's pulled, 0.6 in a sector, and that's a fairly short split there as well. And now Miazza has got a clear path to the 88 and all of the pressure to apply as we come down. Oh, those left front tyres really will be begging for mercy. Do you know what? I'm actually more concerned about the left rears. There's been a lot of four-wheel drifting through especially Paddock Hill Bend and Druids. And down here through Clark Curve you can see the tyre tracks that have been left by the drivers with 25 minutes left to go. The yellow flags up for just a second. The 88 runs out wide again. Miazza can't get into the apex like Muttram was able to, but now he looks up the inside into Druids. The 88 blocks. That was a bit dodgy there, Jones. You don't want to be doing that too many times. You will get into very serious trouble for moving under braking. Not there's an admin watching at all. But that buys him just maybe a corner or two of reprieve. Miazza is looking quite handy in this late stage of the race. And he's definitely not taking notes, is he, Mr. De Geest? As Miazza now has to rebuild that challenge yet again. He knows he can't get it into Paddock Hill Bend, and he knows now that Jones is going to be wise to him at Druids. That does still leave a lot of options for him around the rest of the track. He just needs to running out of paper. There's a reason why you do it digitally. You don't run, then you run out of memory instead of paper. But a very wide line there taken by Miazza. Is he shaping up to have an overlap into Druids? I'm not sure. There is a line to be taken as well around the outside of Druids if you can get the traction. But it's not going to happen again. I don't know if that's his racing line or not. I think because he's been following a lot of drivers for a lot of the time, he's probably been taking their lines. If that's the 88 actual line, whoa, there's a bit of a wiggle he gets coming through Graham Hill, and that is all the opportunity the 72 needs. Up into 30s, up the inside, can just run straight, run him. Doesn't even run him out to the curb. The 88 goes off just in sympathy. We'll get that high camera angle just so that we've got some better views as Miazza. Nope. Barley looks like. Who's he got around him? 11 and 14. Yes, that is a battle for position. Vartanen looking to make up a position, even though he's still looking at a front row start for next time out. You have to wonder, again, is he just sitting behind Barley here, waiting for the time to run out, of which there's only 2 minutes left? It really has seemed to be about 10 minutes of racing and we're almost at the end already. Good grief. And down in 14th as well. Know the gap. What's going on around here? Wenham is out of it. We got to look at Barley. I think this is going to be the closest as Ruskus. Oh no, this is interesting. Oh no, it's not. No, it's not. That's a lapped car that Ruskus has just got past. Williams is quite a bit further up the road, unfortunately. Oh, every time I see a car close, I get like a little bit excited and then get sorely let down. Oof. Bit of a wiggle there for Miazza. Goes to show he is still pushing. That pass wasn't made quickly or easily. As that's a very nice Spa livery, actually. That's a very nice livery on that car. Good grief. I've only just taken them a minute to notice it. Awesome. There's just bits of Spa-Francorchamps all over the car. Oh, as an off there for the 56 Milliken. With 16 seconds left to run, you have to... Ah, it's a shame. I would so run around with that damage. Because he's up in 17th here. He could totally... I think the only person he would have lost out on there is... I don't know, would Gutierrez have gotten past? Yeah, I think he will. I think he will with that damage. That's really unfortunate. As we look back to Vartanen now, who was looking with very, very keen eyes at that 11th position. This is going to be the last lap of the race. Where is the leader? We'll focus on the leader for a brief moment as he comes around Clark Curve for the final time under race conditions. We'll keep it pegged as he flashes his lights in celebration. First win of the season for Gavino Pintus, and following him up closely is his teammate Matteo Sattini. A mere... Oh, good grief, what even is that? That total split is going to be 16 seconds for Ruskus, and Williams will just avoid the Porsche up the inside. Geimer in the 75 car. Ruskus and Geimer looking to be teammates there. Very good. Will come across line in 5th, so a very good finish there for Team Shark. Johnson comes across the line in 7th. Muttram in... Oh, they're all starting to quit, god damn it. In 8th. Jones in 9th. Miazza will be 9th. There we go. This is where the timing screen goes crazy and it makes my life really horrible. Barley in 10th. Vartanen will come home 11th position. Stuck it out to the end. Did probably take... And now the rain comes. You can just see... Oh, man. Oh, if we had had 5 more minutes, that would have been such a difficult decision for them to take. Grucock will come home in 12th. 13th will be Bateson as he comes through there. Now, and then Bosca, where's Bosca? There we go. Bosca is sat in the pits, so is he. He's not going to lose anything. We'll come home in 14th. Selvi, Wenham in 5th. We lost Selvi as well, unfortunately. I hope that wasn't through something as simple as netcode. Hildebrand will come home 16th. 17th will be Gutierrez. Milliken in 18th with a nice, shiny, fresh out of the showroom 56 Porsche to show for it. And 19th will be Bruce with Mirtanen and a few others losing out. We lost at least Aslan, Selvi and Mirtanen from the order. I don't know if that counts for all of the retirements, but here we go. Now that classification is finished, your pole sitter next time out will be Grucock. How awesome is that? Bill Grucock will lead the pack away next time out, 11th, and starting 2nd will be Vartanen. Barley will be starting 3rd, Miazza 4th, Jones 5th, Muttram 6th, 7th will be Johnson, Geimer 8th, 9th will be Williams, 10th will be Ruska, Sattini 11th, and Pintus from pole will be demoted all the way to 12th position next time out. It's gonna be a fantastic one. The next round of the championship, I did not do my homework as I should have. This is entirely on me now, ladies and gents. Will be... I never thought I'd complain about fibre internet. The next round of the championship will be from Kailami, so going to South Africa, which is the home for at least Hildebrandt. I did notice that. So Hildebrandt is going home next time out, but will lose out by 1 position on a pole for the Porsche series. Absolutely insane. So the Assetto Corsa Competizione allows you to manually set the drivers into a formation, which is how you can very easily set the starting order. You can also do things like you can in R Factor 2, which is to reverse the first 12 cars in the server config. That's how Rob's probably doing it. But a fantastic evening of racing, and this is just the start. I look forward to everyone's... I look forward to seeing everybody next time out in South Africa, all the way down to Kalame, where we get to look over the Johannesburg skyline. It's been fantastic to be commentating for you. My name is Ben Oktai. You have been watching Sim Racing Online. If you have enjoyed this video and this stream, please do consider giving it a like. If you enjoy what we're doing here at SRO, bringing professional racing to as many people as we possibly can, feel free to subscribe, get signed up on the forums, and get involved with as many championships as you possibly can. John van der Geest in the chat is one of the admins and organises some absolutely fantastic R Factor 2 championships as well as Assetto Corsa championships as well. I can tell you from personal experience he is a joy to work with, and you could work with him too. In the meantime, I have had the most fun commentating for you tonight, and I will see you next time out at Kailami. Good night.